Okay,
The regular board meeting is now being recorded and it will be uploaded to our district website. The definitive documentation and decisions of the board are kept in our meeting minutes. Any use of electronic devices such as a computer or a cell phone during the meeting is related to the business of the meeting. And the core values that guide our work are respect, compassion, honesty, responsibility, and relationship.
Helen, the French Advisory Committee is already 11.4.
Okay, thank you.
So that's where we'll keep it for now.
Okay, keep it as 11.4. That's fine. I don't have access to a printer here and I'm moving back and forth between a couple of things. So my mistake. And there might be more. All right. We do not. We'll start by taking a look. We don't have any presentations and delegations.
We have a mover and a seconder for the agenda. Sorry,
Yep.
Helen.
Moved by David, seconded by Madeline. Calling the question. All in favor? Yay. In favor here. It's carried. And I saw Thomas's hand. Okay, keep me on the straight and narrow from that room. Presentations and delegations, we do not have any at this point. So we'll move into trustee engagements and celebrations, and we will celebrate the fact that Ida is back with us and start with her.
Okay, I haven't been doing too much because I've just got back. So I haven't been into any of the schools, but I have been phoning them. And I did go to the Indigenous Education Council meeting on October 16th.
Thank you. All right, Trustee Gillis.
I attended the committee of the whole meeting out in Clearview, which was great. And last weekend I was at North Peace watching some volleyball.
Good. All right, Trustee Lehman.
I attended the DPAC SUPAC meeting. Was in on a BCPC sector call. And the Clearview PAC. And at the Health and Safety Committee meeting.
Thank you.
And was in Terrace for the NIB at the Northwest for the meeting here last weekend. And actually, for those that missed it, the IEP competency-based learning here right before this meeting was actually very informative. I appreciated Taylor for receiving.
All right. Trustee Scott Moncrief.
Visited all my schools. I had a great time. Attended the AI committee meeting. And just touched base with most of my schools this morning.
Thank you. Vice Chair Snow.
All righty. So went out to Clearview, visited North Peace, Kearney, and Ambrose. Went to a couple of soccer games, elementary games. Took a trip to Terrace. Went to the IEP meeting. And delivered goodies.
Thank you. Trustee Whitten.
I'm going to do my darndest to do this really quickly. So obviously new baby, it's a celebration, but SD60 soccer tournament at Dr. Kearney. It was a blast, lots of people, lots of friends, family. And Aries and Roberts Young had a day for truth and reconciliation that I was able to attend. Unfortunately, between a baby, things are quite busy at the moment.
It's okay. We're celebrating that little girl. All right. So I worked on the staff appreciation and did a lot of trade deliveries, and that was most of my time in schools this month. I did a sector bargaining call for board chairs, committee of the whole in Clearview, the rural and remote. The last 2-3 weeks have been really busy between that and getting ready for the meeting in Terrace. We have a year 2 report that it will go to the board of directors and hopefully be released from that by them. There's a real ongoing challenge for our rural and remote group to get the data that we wanted to have to complete our work plan. We ran into interregnum, we ran into new ministers, all those kinds of things. And now the BCGEU strike, because most of your Min of Education staff is BCGEU. It's really hard to get anything. So where we'll end up with that, I don't know. And I did get to go to the elementary soccer team, and of course was in Terrace for the joint meeting with Northwest, and had a role to play in organizing that event and did do some presenting. I just want to make sure that I publicly thank the School District 60 team for their support to get this event going, for their presenting, and just being there in general. It was very much appreciated. So that's that. Moving on to item number 5 on our agenda, minutes of the regular board meeting of September the 22nd, which is pages 6 to 13 in your package. I'll give you a little bit of time to read that. You are very tiny on my screen, so if I'm rushing you, let me know. Right. Okay. Had a moment to look at that. Could I please get a mover and a seconder for those minutes? Moved by Bill, seconded by Ida. Any errors or omissions in those minutes? Calling the question then, all in favor? In favor here, in favor with Thomas. All right, let's take a look at business arising from those minutes. The report did get sent to Wes Moberly for Cameron Lake. Is there any other business arising from those minutes for you?
The question of where the 24 spaces for the daycare were added.
I think Stephen emailed us and said that they were talking about Finch, but I do have a question. I haven't had a chance to ask Stephen because we gathered some data for Terrace and we're now up to 39 spaces at Finch. So there was some kind of addition at Finch because it was 24 last year and it's 39 now. So
It's expanding. Yeah, so that is the latest information that was provided at the NIB.
yeah, that's what I thought. So it has expanded. Anything else out of business arising? All right. We'll move on then to approval of the excerpts. No, I'm not there. Just give me a minute. Yeah. Approval of the excerpts of the in-camera board meeting of June 16th and June 26th, which are there in your package. We'll start with, could I have a mover and a seconder for the June 16th excerpts of the in-camera meeting? Moved by Nicole, seconded by Madeline. Calling the question, all in favor? In favor, thank you. Moving on to the excerpts from the June 26th special board meeting in camera. Mover, please.
Want to move.
Moved by Madeline, seconded by David. Calling the question, all in favor? That one was 2 words, that's okay. All right. Take a look now at announcements and reminders. I don't see. Anything that we're missing from the announcements and reminders?
Just a quick question.
Yep.
The invitation for Remembrance Day, and I probably missed it in the last meeting. Did we get one?
Remembrance Day is later on in the agenda, Thomas.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. It's okay. You might not have had a lot of sleep these nights. All right. I'm not seeing anybody wanting to add anything to announcements and reminders, so we'll move on to our superintendent's report.
Thank you. All right, item 1 there is the activity report for HR, and then under education, I have my online report, and then Lee, if you don't mind focusing in please on the screen so Helen and Thomas can see that. So for my online report here under the board goal of student learning, intellectual development, just an update around, you probably read in the framework how some of our groups are meeting. We call them vertical teams, and that alludes to different grade levels. So grade 6 and 7 teachers meeting together to look at some of the planning and the assessment and the instructions happening specifically around math. And so those workshops are being very well subscribed. You'll also notice in the agenda package a copy for the trustees of the literacy grant that was submitted to the ministry. That's for the requirement. Just a reminder that this is in the context of what's already been happening in the district around literacy. It's just being able to enhance those services, which are well needed. And so you'll have a chance to read through those as well. Under student learning and human and social development, just a reminder for parents and trustees that there is the virtual foundry. And so you can access that through the links here, and there's a list of the different services that you can seek. A reminder for everyone, it's past now, but Mental Illness Aware Week was October 5th to the 11th. And if you click on the link here, you can find out more information and resources for that important week. Trustees will be familiar with Classroom Champions. And again, under Human and Social Development, we have a number of schools involved in this initiative. And we've been lucky to have at least a couple of schools involved with visiting Olympic athletes or professional athletes that are on this program. And I can tell you that the students and those schools continue to correspond even with the athletes from last year, and it's just become part of their social and emotional learning strategy for these schools. Under student learning, career and skill development, a small grant was awarded to Charter Lake School as part of Career Education Week as well, and so congratulations to that school. A reminder for parents and trustees, often you will face the question around what is work experience? What are the opportunities for career exploration? So there's a link here, and if I click on it, it brings you to the North Peace Secondary site, and specifically around all the programs involved in dual credit, trades, and work experience. And so there's a good description there, as well as contact information. So if people are asking you questions, what can my child be involved in for career pathways, please do check that out. So under the board goal of people development, we have a number of different workshops going on here. How do I get them to write for elementary and middle school teachers? When reading is hard, this is specifically for education assistants. And so they can get some strategies for their work. And Asia Fontaine, who you will recall, is working as well as part of our children and youth in care tracking and liaison with schools. She's also offering workshops. This particular one is called Child-Centered Relational Play Skills. So this training series there. The Thinking Classroom you'll be familiar with, you've heard it before. So that's around our numeracy, and a number of different workshops continue. And that group now is getting fairly experienced, and they're picking up a few new colleagues each time. Rock Your Literacy Block, October 14th and 21st. Under Truth and Reconciliation, again, that's a board goal as well. And please take the opportunity. There's a really extensive slide deck here on the initiatives over the past year from our Indigenous Education Center, and describes all of the activities, initiatives, and people that were involved in the work that they did. I was out at the Doig World Cafe on September 25th, and that was neat to see all of the different contractors, companies, businesses, services that are being provided to the Doig First Nations community, and including, it's hard to see here, but this picture is the teacher, Tara Maloney, who was working sort of seconded through the school district, but working specifically for the success of the Doig River First Nation students. You've seen a number of different resources through my report. Here's another one called With Open Arms, a substance use resource for youth. And it seems like each report, there are different links or resources that we can point parents to in terms of the topic of substance abuse, which is great. And again, I think Madeline will remind me, this is something we can push out specifically for through our VPAC group. National Indigenous Education Month coming up in November, so we'll have some celebrations to share there as well. Undertake 3 celebrations around the district. Some pictures here from Orange Shirt Day celebrations. Thank you to our chair. We have some pictures here of the elementary soccer tournament for the district with the results. And obviously they got it in before any snowfall. In fact, we still don't have any snow, which is amazing. So that's good. My understanding is it's quite cold, but it's okay. And here is Dr. Kearney. They have an after-school go-kart club. Trustees, public can click on the link to find out more information. And here it is, their website. Kind of a cool design, actually. And so they have a program running for students to get their hands and have some more experiential learning going on at that level at the school, which is terrific. That is my online report. I mentioned item number 2, which is an information item. There's an attachment. I would ask the trustees to break out items 3 and 4 for a motion. That is my report. Thank you.
And that's the community coaches and the out-of-district field trips.
Correct.
Thank you. Great. Could I please have a mover for Stephen's report, moved by Thomas, seconded by
Nicole.
Nicole, thank you. Discussion, we'll start with the HR report. Any questions related to the HR report? Okay. Moving,
I don't know what's happening.
moving into the online report. The kids do like the Classroom Champions program. And they got some cool ones this year with some, I think Duncan Kranz is a basketball player.
Well, that's a nice mix.
Yeah.
I went to Ambrose one. It's a sledge thrower.
Oh, cool.
Sled thrower?
Sledge thrower,
Hammer.
Hammer throw.
Yeah.
That's a sport?
Something.
Shot
Steve,
put.
do you know what Charlie Lake applied for the grant for?
Yeah, for a career, one of their career exploration days that they want.
Okay.
At the school, yeah. So that was in conjunction with the careers department and to just support some of the costs of having a bit of a career day there.
Okay, that's good. Thank you.
You bet.
So if you have questions, just speak up because I can see the screen, but not the people in the room. Quiet group tonight. All right, if there are no other questions related to the online report, calling the question, all in favor of accepting Stephen's report? In favor here? Okay, that's carried. Could I please have someone make the motion that the community coaches be accepted? Madeline, thank you. Seconded by Ida. Calling the question, all in favor? Thank you. All right. The out-of-district field trips, could I please have somebody make a motion that the out-of-district field trips are accepted? Moved by Thomas, seconded by Nicole. Any further discussion related to those? Happy? All right, calling the question then. All in favor? In favor here, that's carried.
Thank you.
Okay, Secretary Treasurer's report.
Thank you. For my report, I have the finance update to September 30th and an HR support staff summary to October 16th. And that is my report.
Right. There's nothing to pull out for motions. Could I please have a mover and a seconder? Moved by Nicole, seconded by Bill. All right.
Angela,
Yes, sir.
can I ask you a question? Do we have any spare drivers these days?
We have a couple. Not very many.
I just noticed that like today there was a route canceled.
We have a few different internal people that we're tapping as well to get the budget out. Doing pretty good.
Further questions related to the HR report?
Buses, I just had a question. Do we have spare buses?
We do,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Didn't mean to cut you off, Nicole. All right. No further questions related to the HR report. Moving on to the financial statement then.
I just want to remind you that there is a deficit there, but that is normal for this time of year, is the funding.
And
Anything?
What-
whatsoever? Go ahead, Helen.
yeah, I was gonna say, what did our final September enrollment come in at?
I just had it.
She's only supposed to ask you questions you know the answer to.
Right.
No, it's much more fun the other way.
Talk amongst yourselves for a moment.
Well, I guess as it relates to the financial statement, I'm just wondering if we're over or under, because that will make a difference all year long.
Yeah, we came in slightly under.
Okay.
The overall FTE fundable is FTE total for school age is 5,955, and that includes DL or
Yeah.
online.
That includes online. I know, and the hard part, we were a little over 6,000 last year, weren't we?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Other questions related to the financial statement?
Just to verify that enrollment number, once it's verified by the ministry, will be brought to the November meeting.
That's fine. I just, in my head, was trying to figure out where we were.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, if there are no further questions, could I please, I will call the question, all in favor of accepting Angela's report as presented? In favor here? That's carried. Moving on, we're going to take a look at the minutes of the regular committee of the whole meeting of October the 3rd, which is pages 18 to 20 in your package. Could I please have a mover and a seconder? Moved by Nicole, seconded by Madeline. Any errors or omissions? All right. All in favor? Carried. Business arising from those minutes?
Just us. So Stephen, you're gonna compile the answers, eh, when the principals start giving them to you?
Yeah, we've actually come up with a process. Leah's going to connect directly with the administration, gather all that information, and we'll put it into SharePoint for the trustees to have it in there as we go along.
Because we're gonna ask the same questions at every school.
That's right. That, to my mind, that would be the best idea.
Okay, thank you.
It's in.
I mean, if
SharePoint.
if we were there for a special event around the Christmas concert, you might throw in a question about how do you like your Christmas performance or something, but continuously we will connect. One of my wonders is that when we're looking at vessels for the other schools during those committee of the whole, would be to just make sure we draw out of those vessels anything related to student voice so that it's recorded as well.
I think in a very specific way, you'll get that feedback in the 2-year cycle, but certainly we can see what else is in there and then make note of it.
Yeah, and just as a follow-up, I think the feedback that trustees gave on the reports that were attached to that Clearview meeting was well liked. I know that Lori replied back and said that she would be taking the feedback that came from our group to her staff meeting at the ELC. So having some feedback on those reports is important, and the loop this now of connecting back with those principals and saying something about their frameworks, I think will be a good process. How do you feel, Stephen?
Yeah, absolutely. Very much appreciated. And they're all, because prior to this, they were reaching out and asking for some, and I was providing them, but only with my own perspective. So this is much better. And just to let you know, Leah just mentioned that actually we've uploaded those student comments from Clearview into the board SharePoint.
All right.
There's a
Bill.
question? No.
Just a point, but again, talking to people on the weekend, people are jealous that we're getting to do this. Like they're very, when I tell them that we're doing it, they really wish they could do it.
Yeah, my colleagues are probably going to give me a hard time, but that's okay. Yeah.
I was going to say though, I was there.
They're used
When
to
we
it.
went through the slideshows from the different districts, there are other districts that aren't doing it exactly the same way as us, but they are getting out into their schools, which is nice. So. All right. Anything else? All right. We don't have anything for policy committee. Indigenous Education Council. Ideally, this would be a time when the council had information for us, but just to kind of keep a pulse on things, Ida, is there anything that you would like to bring back to us from this meeting?
They did pick it, well, she got in by acclamation. The chair for the committee is Linda,
Dufresne, Dufserne, but I don't know how you say it.
Frame, she said.
Yeah.
And the Indigenous keepers, I talked to Carlene and Pat about it, and I believe Stephen, you, Carlene, and Pat are going to bring it to the board, which will be really interesting. And they went through the framework and the rules and it was good. I'll have a full report. I'll write one up, but that was the main. And then, of course, I got to leave at noon because once they get into the financial stuff, then we all staff left. So,
Right.
yeah, no, it was good. It was very few people there. We had to wait a little bit to get it formed, but it was good.
Thank you very much, Ida. Other reports, Trustee Gillis. You've got provincial council coming up.
Friday, yep.
All right. BCPC, Trustee Lehman.
I did forward a couple of information pieces, I think, last week, and Helen, are you attending the sector call tomorrow?
Yes.
Because I got a conflict of calendar.
Okay, I'll talk with you about that afterwards. I think I got an invite I think I got a list for that, and I think I responded, but we can talk about it afterwards.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Right, Board Pro D Committee, at the moment, that's kind of me. And the competency IEP presentation fits within our board Pro D. French Advisory Committee, this is something new. And basically it's related to only the French immersion programs. It's not related to French as a second language programming. It's French immersion. And the ministry is asking school districts to have a French advisory committee that has broad cross-representation from parents, the schools that are offering French immersion, teachers, admin, trustee, to go over things related to French immersion, set some goals for what people would like to see, and just generally talk about the state of French immersion. And the ministry has, if you have a French advisory committee, they're special purpose funds, which Angela loves, providing $1,500 for the running and organizing of that committee and doing some things. So for this committee, they must meet at least 3 times throughout the year. And common to everyone that's offering French immersion is the worry about keeping French immersion numbers up, because they do tend to dwindle. And so there was lots of conversation about what might be done there. And then there was some specific goals set. What I would like to recommend is that we take the French Advisory Council and the duties related to it and attach it to whoever is the school liaison for Central, because that particular trustee would have a really good feel for the school that has the majority of our French immersion students in it. So how do you feel about that?
Who is it? Who's the liaison?
Thomas is. Now, they won't meet again till there's one scheduled in January and one scheduled in June. And obviously it would be like anything else. If it didn't work for that person to attend, we would want a trustee there so they meet the terms of their committee. But it just seemed to me, as I sat and listened to what was going on, there was a common sense to have the central person there. I don't know how you feel about that, Thomas.
I have no problem with it. Luckily, the baby's eating right now. So, yeah, I have no problem with it. Cote Oban had already invited me to the first meeting. It was just right around the time of the new baby. So
Yeah.
I wasn't able to make that one, but, yeah, I'm definitely happy to attend the next couple. If I'm
Okay. Yep.
Thomas,
Yeah.
if you need a backup, I'd love to go.
Okay. Great. We've got backups. We've got a plan. It was certainly an interesting meeting. So, was a good conversation, right? We're going to move into correspondence. And in your correspondence, we have a letter from the School Psychologists Association. And they've even given us a template letter that we could decide to use or move it in whatever ways we like. Essentially, the school psychologists are looking for the same kind of support that we provided to UNBC way back when they were trying to get a hybrid online learning program. They would like to get more flexible training procedures for school psychologists and have them done in the training to be able to be provided closer to home. If they are successful in the program, it would involve a commitment from the district to support in terms of mentor staffing. But I'm looking for your feedback on how you feel about us doing a letter of support. I know that Stephen was somewhat enthusiastic with this, yes, so he might have some comments to add.
Yeah, similar to the teacher education program that we're trying to get more accessible. This is along the same vein. While we don't have a school psychologist here, we can look at contractors perhaps being part of the mentorship program, but staff are definitely in favor of any, of this advocacy.
I would wholeheartedly agree.
So do you want to use the template letter or do you want to look at doing some customizing?
Maybe if you want, Helen, you and I can connect on that question, or did you want direction from the rest of the trustees?
I just wanted some ideas because my thought is if we send the same letter as everybody else is sending, somebody looking at them goes, check, check, check. It might not have my feeling, and it may not be the feeling of the group. I'll go to Ida next, is that if every single person just takes this template and uses it verbatim, it would not have necessarily the same impact as some differences in letters. Ida?
I was going to say the exact same thing, because I think that when it's a letter, template letter, you're right, they just go, yeah, 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 yeah. But if we can customize it a bit to our situation, I think it'll go further.
So as part of that customization, I'm wondering if we should consider including some details of our own difficulties, having a full complement of school psychologists, the fact that this year we're having to contract out that service, the fact that we have an assessment backlog in our district. Any other specific district facts, Stephen, that you think should go into a letter like that?
I think you've nailed some of the critical ones from this year, and with some of the information that you already have from even the letters that you wrote to UNBC or the key messages that I put together would also be helpful in that preamble, just as far as some of the specific challenges that the North faces.
Okay. Other additional thoughts to go into this letter? Okay, so I think it has to be there by the end of the month. So I'm back in community on the 28th of October. It will probably be something that Stephen and I work on together, and we'll try and get a draft out to you for feedback and before the 28th, if that's all right with you, Stephen.
I'll actually work on a draft this week, Helen, and send.
Okay.
Yeah, and then you can rejig it, but I'll put a draft together.
Thank you very much. Anything else on that correspondence before we move on? All right. The follow-up letter regarding our meeting with Minister Bear is gone, and we don't at this point have anything back to that. The letter from Brad that went to Brad Sperling, I did have a reach out from Brad Sperling, and it was to make sure that the PAC and the school district efforts to put the playground in and respond to the needs of that community were appreciated, and that they were very happy to support the project. So it was nice to have that. Minister of Infrastructure letter is just to let us know that we can expropriate if we want and need to, but the bottom line is there's hardly anybody that's expropriated. Interesting, from Terrace, we went up the highway to the Nass, and Terrace is one of the places that has a Canadian Francophone school. It's K-7, and the community we drove through provides students, and the students that go to the Francophone school and the students that go to Terrace Public Schools share a bus and a layer and connection of funding. And that school is currently K-7, and they would like to expand to be K-12. And right beside this Francophone school is a condemned elementary school that the Terrace School District isn't using. And so they're wondering if they're going to have some knocks on the door about, we'd like to take over that piece of land. So it'll be interesting to see what comes out of that legislation, because it definitely, the Francophone organization, and I'm using that term because I can't say the other properly, is quite excited about the right to expropriate.
I'll say scolaire francophone.
Thank you. And you could say it 10 times and I still would have trouble repeating it properly.
You got big shoes to fill.
All right, minister response letter to the BCSTA AGM motions. You can see her response there on a number of different fronts that actually impact us, including the feedback on our own motion. This is one of the regions that would love better data about kids going off to post-secondary, because we look like we're not doing great transition to post-secondary because the students from our district that go to Alberta and elsewhere in Canada don't get counted. But there's just too much difficulty in pulling that data, so they won't be pulling that data, was the response there. And then when she responded to our concerns regarding the fast action on the workforce plan, essentially she's told us what she's already doing. I was a bit disappointed to see the response in that letter around letters of permission, because I know our partner district, School District 57, had both at the Financial Standing Committee presentation and in other work that they've done, advocacy work, was really looking for a more streamlined process for LOPs and the use of their application for more than 1 year. But you can see the response is we're going to put our energy elsewhere and leave the LOP process as it is. Any other thoughts, comments, and reaction to that letter?
Madeline?
Just a quick comment on the LOP. I just felt actually that the answer on that one is almost as if, because we had some other concern, and I almost feel like they weren't understood the concern, because she said the turnaround is 9 days.
Yeah.
That wasn't our concern.
No. And I didn't, I was going to talk to Christy about the response, because Chad actually sent me the letter before it came out in the BCSTA Weekly. And I was curious as to what their thoughts were about it, but then with the accident on the Taylor Bridge, they never got to Terrace. So I haven't had a conversation with South Peace to see what their feelings are. Have you heard anything from Christy about it, Stephen?
No.
Okay. You're right, Madeline. Other thoughts or comments related to the letter? Okay. All right, we'll move on to item number 13 then. They're under unfinished business, staff appreciation follow-up. Leah, I can't access, you sent me the total, but I didn't write it down from what you sent. Are you able to tell us what the total was for that?
$2,445.98.
All right, so that is what it cost. We did have numerous messages back from staff stating that they certainly appreciated them being dropped off, and they liked what was provided. What was the feedback other trustees got?
Exactly the same. They really enjoyed them. They thought they were fantastic.
Okay.
Same kind of thing they really enjoyed. One of the schools, somebody from the high school told me they got demolished. Was the word they used.
Okay. Anything that happened this year that we should keep in mind if we chose to organize this event the same way again next year? Any learning to be done?
Well, for us, we just have to go pick up and deliver. Helen, you did the bulk work, so we had the easy part.
Well, there's a template. It's easy. That part is easy, but I didn't do all the deliveries. So lots of people delivered. So I just don't want to, if there's great feedback out there on ways to improve things, lose sight of it. That's all. So that's where the question's coming from. All right. That's where we're at on the agenda. Moving on now to the Remembrance Day ceremony. And last year we placed wreaths in Fort St. John, Hudson's Hope, Taylor, and Cecil Lake. My assumption is that we will get the same invite again. Just wondering who would like to do what. Bill and David, what would you like?
I'd love to go back down to Taylor if that's all right with you, Ida. Thank you.
Okay, so David and Ida are going to do Taylor. Thomas? What would you like? I saw your
I'll
hand.
Join Bill again, if he'll have me as a guest.
Okay,
There we go.
Bill and Thomas. Madeline, will you do Cecil Lake again?
Yeah, because there's a lunch included. No.
Oh, right.
Taylor has a lunch.
And it's like 2 kilometers from my house.
And Nicole, are you able to do Hudson Hope?
Yeah, I think there is a possibility I'll be out of town, but then I will find as like students are always keen to do it with me, so I'll sort something out.
I don't mind coming down if you want to sort out a student and you're unable. So, okay. Done it before. So Nicole with Helen as backup. Easy peasy on sorting that one out. Moving on, I asked Stephen to have the organizational charts for the district attached to the agenda because we have some new faces, some new players, and some moving. Any questions or comments for Stephen related to those organizational charts?
I found them earlier, Stephen. I'm gonna try to find them again. Oh, I found it here now. The one question I had, it's only probably an easy one. But we have security.
Yeah.
Sorry,
We have security.
security?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's under operations there, right, with facilities?
Yeah.
Okay, Angela would be delighted to respond to that.
Would she?
So I'm sure that's referring to, that's Radu, correct?
I believe so.
Yeah, security meaning like all of our alarms in our
Yeah,
schools.
it's
Oh,
something, yeah, not a service.
Yeah, that's what I thought meant, like security guards kind of thing.
No, it's just, that just falls under his portfolio right now.
Okay.
Yeah, nothing's changed there. And just to add for trustees as well, that this is actually a diarized item, and so each fall, it would be in this agenda.
But still,
And it's in the SharePoint.
And it's in the SharePoint too, yeah.
but still, if an alarm goes off at school, a principal or somebody gets the first call, right?
Well, it depends when it is.
Yeah, he would get the call
Oh, he
after
does?
hours, yeah, like if it's
Principal?
between,
Oh, yeah.
well,
After
if it's
hours.
between 11, after the custodians leave or on the weekends, it goes to Radu.
Okay.
That's the change. It's always good.
And is that the process for rural schools too?
Yeah,
Okay, thank you. Other questions, comments on these charts?
But my comment is I do appreciate the chart.
Mhm.
Yeah, it kind of helps to kind of see that flow. And actually, I thought, oh, that lines up here with budget, and it just ties some things together for me. So I certainly appreciate having them.
I
We'll
like how
move-
Kylie, our payroll manager, payroll benefits manager, is just very, very happy to be here. It shows in her picture.
All right, Board of Education Annual Work Plan. We did look at this. We've updated it. It is a living document. And at our next committee of the whole meeting, we will put on the agenda for that concentrated discussion about connection with other local government partners. Okay. Any further comments related to the annual work plan? I know when we were in Clearview, we were discussing the partner liaison meeting. The ministry is not holding a partner liaison meeting this year. Budgetary cutbacks, and after they may see if they reinstate it, it may be something that they're not doing anymore. So we'll have to see on that one. School liaison reps for 2025, 2026. Typically, it's something that we talk about in October if you're looking for a change in assignment, because when we hold our elections and our confirmation of who's doing what in November, we say, here's the school liaisons. So if you are interested in looking at some changes in your liaison schools, please have a conversation with me. And we'll make sure that in November we have the wishes of people reflected there. Any comments on that? Oh, you guys are quiet tonight. I don't think Donna's there.
No.
And Cupie's not there. And Deepak's not there. But we have a friend tonight, so I'm excited. Any questions from the press and the public related to agenda items? I can't see you, but Stephen can.
Stephen's not even here.
Oh, okay, good.
David can see it.
No, I have no questions. I've been away, so I haven't been able to make it, but I did make it tonight.
Welcome back.
And you know what? Welcome back, and we're very glad to have you. So thank you for being there. All right, could I please get a motion to suspend our regular meeting and move into camera? Moved by Bill, seconded by
David.
David, thank you. All in favor? In favor. Leah, please stop the recording. Could I have a motion that the in-camera motions be brought forward for implementation? Moved by Bill, seconded by Ida. All in favor? Carried. Now I need a motion for adjournment. Bill and Thomas calling the question. All in favor? Thank you. Leah, please stop the recording.